What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm going to be doing a penetration test with my AK-47 pistol, and I'm going to be using some full metal jacket ammunition and soft points to see how many sheets of 16 gauge sheet metal I can penetrate through with factory ammo. So here's what one of those sheets looks like. Okay, 16 gauge sheet metal. It's pretty thick, 1/16 of an inch thick. It's pretty stiff. So what I'm going to do is put these in a special jig that I made that spaces them out about 1.5 inches apart, and we're going to see how many of these sheets we can penetrate through. So the AK pistol I'm using in this test is my Zastava M92. It's got a 10.5 inch barrel, and I have a silencer coat Omega 300 that I'm going to be using, and an Aimpoint H2 Olight Balder. Got the Midwest Industries handguard and the Ultimac rail. So let me show you the ammunition I'm going to be using. So for the full metal jackets, we're going to be using some Norma PMC Bronze and Winchester. They're all 123 grains, and I've chronographed them at around 2,050 feet per second in wintertime conditions. And for the soft points, we got some PPU 123 grain, also around 2,050 feet per second. We got Hornady Black, which is the Hornady SST bullet. It's a very soft bullet, also around 2,000 feet per second. Federal Power Shock, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of that bullet. We got the 123 grain Power Shock jacketed soft points, also around 2,000 feet per second. And then we got the Hornady Subsonic 250 grain Sub X bullets. So we're going to shoot all of these at the 16 gauge sheet metal and see how many sheets we can penetrate through with this Zastava M92 AK pistol, 7.62x39mm, 10.5 inch barrel. What do you guys think is going to happen? Let's see what happens. Alright guys, so I wanted to go over the results of the test with you. So 7.62x39 out of a 10.5-inch barrel Zastava M92 could penetrate through 5 sheets of 16 gauge sheet metal with full metal jacket ammunition, and with soft points I was able to penetrate through 4 sheets, and with the subsonic from Hornady I was able to penetrate through 2 sheets. What's really interesting is that the soft points only penetrated 1 sheet less than the full metal jackets, which is pretty impressive. But this is about what I was expecting based on prior tests that I've done with the 44 Magnum and 308 Winchester. I had a feeling the penetration would be similar to 44 Magnum because of the muzzle energy. With the Zastava M92, I'm getting around 1,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, which is right around the same as a 44 Magnum. So I was expecting this amount of penetration. So I want to show you every single sheet one at a time so you can see exactly what happened. We're going to start with the full metal jackets, and then we'll go to the soft points and the subsonic. So here were my 2 shots with the Winchester, my 2 shots with the Norma and PMC. So here's the first sheet. Here's our second sheet. You can see the holes are starting to get a little bit bigger as those bullets deform. Here's our third sheet. You can see the holes getting larger. Here's our fourth sheet, the Winchester, Norma, PMC. You can see some lead starting to be deposited around these holes. Okay, and the holes are getting pretty large. I can actually fit my index finger through these holes now. And then here's the fifth sheet. You can actually see one of the Winchesters did not penetrate through the fifth sheet. One of them did. And then both Normas penetrating through and both PMCs penetrating through. And then here we have the sixth sheet, and you can see the Winchester basically blew apart when it hit the sixth sheet, but the Norma and PMC held together. You can see pretty big dents with the PMC especially here, and then Norma also pretty big dent there. So that's to be expected because the Norma and PMC are marketed as tactical ammunition versus the Winchester is more target ammunition. So the Norma and PMC probably have thicker jackets for tactical real-world use versus just plinking. So 5 sheets of 16 gauge sheet metal out of an AK pistol with a 10.5-inch barrel, full metal jacket. Let's see what the soft points could do. So here we have my shots with the Hornady Black. Here we have my shots with the Federal Power Shock, PPU, soft point, and then the subsonic. So you can see the Hornady Black holes getting large very quickly. In the second sheet, they're already pretty large, and that's because the SST bullet is really soft and it expands rapidly. You can see the Power Shock and PPU basically look the same. You can see some lead dust there. And then here you can see the subsonic penetrating through the second sheet. And then here you can see the subsonic bullets were stopped by the third sheet. Hornady Black still going. Look at all the lead dust around those holes there. Power Shock and PPU still going through. Here we have the fourth sheet. See the Hornady Black still going. Federal Power Shock and PPU still going. What's interesting is with the Power Shock, you can see these holes are rather massive compared to the Hornady Black and the PPU. That's pretty interesting. And I have found in my testing that the Federal PowerShock bullets are really good bullets. They hold together. They're almost like a bonded bullet. Never had any issues with them. And then here you can see the Hornady Black, Federal PowerShock, and PPU all being stopped by the 5th sheet. But what's interesting is the Hornady Black left some pretty big dents. So it looks like the Hornady Black had more energy and maybe held together even better than the PowerShock or the PPU. Very interesting. And I want to show you guys the bullets that I was able to find. But there you guys have it. 7.62x39 out of a 10.5-inch barrel AK pistol versus sheet metal, penetrating 5 sheets with full metal jacket, 4 sheets with soft points, and 2 sheets with subsonic. Let me show you guys the bullets that I found. So this is all I could find, and it's hard to tell which one is which. This is definitely one of the full metal jackets, because you can see the base there is hollow. Okay, if it was a soft point, the base would be solid. This one could be either the PPU or the Federal PowerShock, and it held together quite well, which actually typically happens when you shoot at sheet metal. In my experience, the bullets usually will hold together well unless they're really soft and they blow apart. But any kind of decent bullet will hold together. This looks like one of the full metal jackets for sure. You can see it got flattened out there. And this could be potentially the Sub X, because the Sub X bullets have really thin jackets to help with expansion at lower velocities. You can see how thin this jacket material is. Look at that. It's like a piece of paper. I can bend it with my finger, actually. I can bend it. So really thin. You know, it's like just a little bit thicker than foil. So that was definitely the Sub X, and then some remnants of the Sub X, it looks like right here. And then we have some other fragments here, not sure what that's from. Check that out, it's pretty cool. We got the core of one of these bullets with no jacket. Look at that, just the pure lead core. You can see how it got flattened out. And no jacket on this thing. But that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And then we have another core here. Have another core over here. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my AK playlist and my 7.62x39 playlist for all 7.62x39 and AK videos that I have. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.